Ever set up your shot on a cliff's edge, only to watch your cheap tripod buckle in the wind? We've all been there. That's why I spent the last 6 months putting the most hyped travel tripods through hell. From Himalayan peaks to desert storms. Most of them failed. But these four are different. One of them might just be the last tripod you ever buy. Let's find out which one. Starting at number 1. SLIK SPRINT 150 Kit. We have about a decade of experience with a SLIK SPRINT tripod. Though it's with a more compact model, the build quality on the SLIK SPRINT 150 is almost identical to the tripod our primary tester has taken across Europe, into the wilderness, and the classroom during the pandemic. The clips that hold the legs down are easy to use, the foam grips on the legs are comfortable to hold onto, and the tripod is thin enough to fit into most water bottle pockets. Plus, the quick release plate is easy to pop on and off for a quick transition between shots. At a price point of under $75 at the time of writing, the SLIK SPRINT 150 is a steal, especially considering its specs. It tops out at 64.299 inches, 163.32 centimeters, which is more than most travelers will realistically need. However, that height enables unique vantage points, especially for long exposure shots and videos. The tripod weighs 2.288 pounds, 1.04 kilograms, which is pretty average for this list. The area where the SLIK SPRINT 150 doesn't excel is the closed height. At 19.7 inches, 50 centimeters, it's likely too tall for most users' travel backpacks and will require stowing inside a roomy carry-on or checked luggage, or stowed solo under the seat as a personal item. Still, the height and usability you get from this tripod are top-notch for the price. Number 2. Manfrotto PIXI EVO 2-section mini tripod. Typically, we don't recommend smaller tripods like this because we have found that they're often not durable and can't hold even smaller mirrorless cameras. However, the Manfrotto PIXI EVO 2 performs well in both areas, offering ruggedness and strength that we didn't see from others in its class. We're able to use a Fuji X-T3 mirrorless camera with a 55-200 lens attached without an issue. Your mileage may vary with different camera gear. Though we didn't include mini tripods in our average and standard deviation data, we compared the PIXI EVO 2 to those figures to see where it stacks up. Unsurprisingly, it blew most of the other tripods out of the water in terms of close height and weight, coming in at 8.1 inches, 20.5 centimeters, and 0.572 pounds, 0.26 kilograms, respectively. It falls flat on its face compared to the others on this list in reference to maximum height, only reaching 7.9 inches, 20 centimeters. However, you can always use things around you, like a park bench or railing, to give you some extra height. Plus, low angles can make for unique photos. That said, this tripod is priced similarly to some of the more budget-friendly standard-sized models on this list, so we feel like you should get more for the price tag. However, compared to other mini tripods we've tested, this one performs well and feels like it'll last longer. Number 3. K&F Concept 64 Camera Tripod. K&F Concept has a reputation in most photography and videography circles as a brand that makes cheap gear that's good for getting you started. While we believe that's true, we have K&F Concept gear in the Pack Hacker Studio that's been used for years, so it can be more than starter gear, too. This was one of our favorite budget tripods, however, it certainly doesn't have the least amount of features. The tripod is roughly the same size as the Peak Design Travel Tripod when collapsed, 15.35 inches, 39 centimeters, however, it extends slightly higher, 64.17 inches, 163 centimeters, and is lighter weight, 2.53 pounds, 1.15 kilograms. While it outperforms one of the most recommended travel tripods on the spec sheet, this tripod has a few quirks. The clips to open the legs don't feel very durable, and overall, it is more complex to use than other tripods on this list thanks to all the moving parts. Still, it's stable, comes with a phone holder, and has a sliding plate that's easy to adjust. For the price, it's hard to beat. Number 4. Neewer LT3262 Carbon Fiber Travel Tripod. Neewer has a wide range of photography and videography gear, including a list of tripods for home and travel use. We've opted for the Neewer LightTrip LT32 because it feels like a solid mixture of maximum height and closed size. Paired with a 360-degree panorama head that's easy to use and adjust, you can be sure you'll get the perfect angle for the perfect shot. Plus, you can easily screw in other attachments, like a phone holder or a flash stand, though they're not included. We don't love the plate locking system, as it feels as if it could get unlocked and knocked out of place accidentally, though that hasn't happened to us in testing. When closed, the tripod measures 43 centimeters, or 16.9 inches, which is pretty average compared to other tripods on this list. It maxes out at 61.8 inches, 157 centimeters, on the upper end of the average we compiled. This will be more than enough height to get the angles you want, even if you're tall. It comes in at 2.596 pounds, 1.18 kilograms, which is fairly average overall but quite good for how tall the tripod is. The Neewer LightTrip LT32 performs quite well, though it doesn't have a price point like we'd expect from Neewer. Still, the carbon fiber build quality is solid, and other than the plate locking system, this thing is a joy to use at home and on the road. So, there you have it. The 4 champions that survived the abuse. Whether you're a weight weenie backpacker or need a rock-solid platform for your mirrorless kit, the perfect choice for you is in that lineup. All the links to check the latest prices and specs for each of these winning tripods are waiting for you in the description below. Those affiliate links help fund brutal tests like this one, so thank you. Now, I have to ask, which of these 4 would you strap to your bag? Let me know your pick down in the comments. I read every single one. If this video saved you hours of research and a potential gear failure, smash that like button. Share this with your travel buddies so they don't hold the group back with wobbly shots. And subscribe and hit the bell because next week, we're testing a $100 camera accessory that beats $1,000 gear, and you won't believe the results. See you then.